Hi, welcome to LEWCO Unit Handling Controls 101. My name is Joe Stombaugh. I'm a controls engineer in the Conveyor Products Department. The goal of today's webinar is to help our customers get a better understanding of our controls products. Specifically today, we're looking at the packages that are selectable through our online configurator. We also want to open up a dialogue to ensure we're providing the products and service that you expect. Accessible through our customer portal, the configurator allows customers to build their own order or quote and provides you with a field to type in comments or special requests. You can count on an application engineer or technical salesperson to promptly answer any questions and assist you with non-standard orders or features when you take advantage of our online system. We'll start with some common application requirements. We'll consider component ratings, specs, and features that affect sizing and cost. We'll go into the details of each of our pre-configured motor control options. We'll look at how easily our products work with your preferred sensor or run signals. And at the end of the slideshow, we'll take a peek at a simple controls quote using the configurator. Now let's consider the information you really need to select controls for your application. Is it going into an existing system? Maybe you already have a frequency drive or motor starter in place and our conveyor is replacing a worn out conveyor. You still may want to add a motor disconnect for a place to land the wires. That way your motor is pre-wired and there's less room for error. Think about how often you start and stop. Contactors are prone to wear out because they're a mechanical device. And also, your conveyor itself can experience wear and tear just from the across the line starts, couplings, and any mechanically. Do you need variable speed? Does the load you're handling shift or could it tip over? Maybe you should think about a combination starter, an enclosed VFD, or a field-mounted VFD. Do you need the ability to reverse your conveyor? Ordering it with reversing capabilities will determine what push buttons you get. And also with the reversing contactor, it's a lot easier to get that up front than to retrofit. Well, you need e-stop devices. If you do, you're going to need a contactor somewhere in your circuit. That's considered a category 0 stop when it's the circuit performs as if you unplugged it. Any of our options that you order, if you want to have an e-stop, we'll have to tie in a contactor somehow, unless it's a drive with safe torque off. We can tie in photo eyes or limit switches. If you ask for a part number, we can probably get it. And most of our components are flexible enough that we can make it operate with your preferred signal. As far as enclosures, we have drives in the NEMA 1 package that are directly mounted to the conveyor, enclosed solutions in NEMA 12 package, and NEMA 4X rated VFDs that will mount directly on the conveyor are available. NEC Article 430 is where you learn about branch circuit sizing, but we're not concerned with that today. We just have some general guidelines here, and want to mention that all motor circuits need to have short circuit protection, a phase that'll protect you against phase to phase or phase to ground shorts. and your overload protection, which is really what protects your motor. Usually it's built into the VFD. If you're using a motor starter, you have to have an overload somewhere. We've got some devices that have both short and overload protection in one unit, and we'll get to those in a few minutes. The NFPA mascot, Sparky the Fire Dog, just wants you to remember short circuit, overload protection, and the sizing for all those is based on your operating voltage and the horsepower. If you use our configurator, all you need to know is the voltage supply and type, is it single or three-phase, and the horsepower of your motor, and our configurator can size your components for you. Save yourself time, and with that little bit of information, you should always get the right components. Now we'll look at the offerings. We have several versions of the combination starter. It's either reversing or non-reversing, and VFD or single speed. And here are the packages. You can see it's got a disconnect, a push button on the front. There's a control transformer. And the motor starter version will have an overload on the contactor. And the VFD version will also include a contactor for emergency stop applications as an MCR, but it'll come with the Allen Bradley VFD. The reversing combination starter, as you can see in the comment, if you have an e-stop circuit, it will drop out a contactor to disable the drive. Reversing motor starter for single speed applications. You can see it's ELS2 for the starter version. ELS5 is a VFD and contactor with reversing push buttons. The variable speed controller is a field mounted VFD. This is not in a box per se, but mounted directly on the conveyor. Available NEMA 4X and also NEMA 1. The NEMA 1 drive has a conduit box mounted to the bottom of it. These are not directly compatible with e-stop buttons. If you need an e-stop button, we ask that you order the ELS, which would be one of the 4 combination starters. We can turn the field mounted drives on and off with photo eyes though. A non-reversing motor starter. This is a really simple device. If you have a conveyor where you're just turning it on and letting it run all day long, this is perfect for it, for single speed. The overload will be within a range of the horsepower that's adequate. The motor disconnect, convenient for installations, provides a lockout point. According to OSHA, from the motor, you need to be able to see your disconnect and be within 50 feet. If not, you should include one of these. And it has to be rated high enough for the current that'll be going through it. Our configurator can figure all that out for you. Why should you include controls with your conveyor purchase? We get great pricing being an OEM. We have the knowledge in-house, direct communication with our mechanical designers and engineers. We can test it all, make sure it all works together before it ships to you. We can do custom modifications, and if you've got an idea and need to talk to an applications engineer, Our ears are always open. So now we'll take a look at our website and we'll show you the configurator. Here we've got two different ways you can add controls. Line item 1 has a belt conveyor. You can include controls within that item. If you look at all your options, there is a button for add electric controls, yes or no. You can see if it was no, those will actually disappear. Now, to bring it back, yes, I want controls, VFD, starter, plane motor disconnect. You have the options selected that you want. You click on finish. You can either do that at the top or bottom. And here is electric control as its own line item. You can see that ELS is one of our combination starters, enclosed with a disconnect. Instead I had that. This would be a field mounted VFD with the washdown or plain old dust proof NEMA 1. I hit finish there. It completes it and you have a quote. All right. I want to thank you all for joining us. Hopefully you've at least piqued your interest, and you can find links on our website to contact conveyor sales, and we hope to hear from you. Thanks.